Hello. Now we shall start with chapter 3, Digital Electronics Notes. Refer page number 51. On this page, we shall start with the chapter number 3, and the title of this chapter is Specifications of Digital ICs. Now, this chapter is actually quite boring. First of all, I must admit this, but this chapter is equally useful so far as your HSC board examination is concerned. And in this chapter, we have to see that how the semiconductor ICs of all types of digital circuits are fabricated. Now, digital circuit means the AND logic, OR logic, NOT logic, NAND logic, NOR logic, and exclusive OR logic. And of course, the last one is exclusive NOR logic. So all these types of logic circuits or digital circuits or even logic gates can be fabricated in the form of ICs, that is integrated circuits. Now there are two types of these semiconductor ICs, or we can say that the logic circuits are of two types. The first one is TTL logic circuit and the other is called CMOS logic circuit. The classification of TTL and CMOS is given over here. The TTL logic circuits are classified as bipolar logic families because these logic families use the circuits using NPN and PNP type of transistors. Now, these transistors carry electric current with the help of electrons and holes together. That is, whenever the current flows through NPN and PNP transistors, the current is carried away by the electrons, particularly of course the free electrons, and the positive charges, that is holes. Since the current is carried out in NPN transistor and PNP transistor by both type of charges, that is positive charges and negative charges, hence it is called bipolar. Pole stands for the type of charges, positive charges and negative charges. So bipolar means having two types of poles which are responsible to carry electric current. So it is called bipolar family. And the next one is unipolar logic family. Now in unipolar logic families, we particularly use these two types of transistors, the NMOS and the PMOS. The NMOS stands for negative metal oxide semiconductor and PMOS stands for positive metal oxide semiconductor. You don't have to remember the long forms of these transistor names. It is not at all necessary, but rarely, I have been teaching this subject since last 30 years, so I found that rarely, only once, one fill in the blank was asked on the long form of NMOS and PMOS. So don't take any tension of the long forms of these transistors and just concentrate on their important properties. So it is called NMOS stands for N channel MOSFET or simply negative MOSFET or MOS. Now here again the word is MOSFET. MOS stands for metal oxide semiconductor and the FET stands for field effect transistor. FET is field effect transistor. So again I am telling you that this is not at all necessary to remember the long forms of these transistor names. Only you have to concentrate on the important properties, the NMOS and the PMOS. Now NMOS and PMOS are exactly opposite in working with respect to each other. You have to note down this point. Just like in bipolar logic family, there are two transistors, NPN and PNP, and these two transistors are actually, their working is exactly opposite to each other. So NPN and PNP are exactly opposite to each other. Just like that, the NMOS and the PMOS have their working exactly opposite to each other. Hence, whenever we use NMOS and PMOS together in a circuit, in a logic circuit, then that circuit is called CMOS. CMOS stands for complementary MOS. Complementary means opposite. So whenever we use NMOS and PMOS transistors in a single logic circuit, I repeat, whenever we use NMOS and PMOS type of transistors in a single logic circuit, such logic circuit is called CMOS logic circuit, and it is called as unipolar logic family. Now, why it is called unipolar? Because in NMOS or in PMOS, the current is carried away only by one type of charges. In NMOS, the current is carried by electrons only, and in PMOS, the current is carried by holes only, that is positive charges. So in NMOS, as the name suggests, N stands for negative, so remember it like that. Electron carries negative charge. So NMOS is a type of transistor in which the current is carried by electrons, and in PMOS the current is carried only by positive charges, that is holes. Hence it is called unipolar logic family. Then we come to the characteristics of the ICs. Now there are 4 points. The first one is propagation delay, the second one is power dissipation, the third one is figure of merit, fan out, and the fan in. 5 points are there. So one by one we shall study this. For that, for the first point of propagation delay, we have to understand one important concept, and let us see with it. Suppose we have got one say one mobile over here, any type of mobile, smartphone or simple phone, and from this mobile you are calling a person who resides somewhere in USA, means you are doing a overseas call. Now in that case, what happens, whenever you speak in front of the microphone of your mobile, what happens, there is some kind of process that goes inside your mobile. Your voice is captured by the microphone, and then that signal is transferred over the network, and then it goes into the receiver's mobile phone, and here the signal is recovered, and then your audio will be heard by this person. So the entire process, whatever the process is going on over here, that entire process takes some time to get reflected from the calling party to the called party. So there is some kind of delay that takes place from calling party to called party, and this delay is called propagation delay. Generally it is of the order of 0.1 microsecond. You must have observed this, that whenever you speak in your mobile, at the same time the called party also speaks, and there gets some kind of confusion, and this confusion is particularly because of this propagation delay. So this propagation delay always exists over here, and there are two types of propagation delays actually. The first type of propagation delay in logic circuits, suppose we take one NOT gate here, Now listen this point very carefully. I take one NOT gate here. Let the input is A and the output is Y, so that Y is equal to A bar is the equation. And now I make A is equal to 0, so Y is equal to 1. Okay, so this is quite clear, because the A bar will become 0 bar, that will become 1. Now what I am doing, that I am making A is equal to 1. So what we expect, that Y should get 0. But the instance at which I make A is equal to 1, Y does not become 0 at the same instance. It takes certain time to get Y is equal to 0, and that time is roughly about 0.1 microsecond. So this delay is always there. Now this delay is of two types. So far as the logic circuits are concerned, this delay is of two types. The first delay is when the logic circuit output changes from 1 to 0. When the logic circuit output changes from 1 to 0, the time is small, because the signal changes from 1 to 0, and coming back to 0 is rather faster thing as compared to 0 to 1. Means for 1 to 0 the time is small, and this time is called propagation time, TP, and the signal is changing from 1 to 0. 1 means high and 0 means low. So it is called TPHL, that is high to low propagation time. And this time is small, and 0 to 1 is rather longer time, TPLH. So we can say that TPLH is greater than TPHL. So remember this point, and this same point is explained in this notes over here. TPLH is greater than TPHL. Now the second point is power dissipation. You have to remember this definition: the product of total current consumed by the IC, whatever may be the IC of logic circuit, and its operating voltage. So generally the TTL ICs work on 5 volt, the TTL ICs work on 5 volt, and the CMOS ICs work from 3 volt to 18 volt. And whatever may be the current that they may be taking, for example, suppose the digital IC, particularly the TTL IC, is taking a current of say 0.1 ampere, and its operating voltage is 5 volt, then we can say that the power dissipation is simply 5 into 0.1. Okay, so this value will be of course in watt. So in that way we can obtain the power dissipation of any digital IC. Now figure of merit, you have to remember that this definition again. It is defined as the product of propagation delay and power dissipation. That is the first 2 points. The product of first 2 points, the propagation delay and power dissipation. You have to remember all these definitions because these are regularly asked in HSC board examination for 1 mark each. So this is the formula for that. Sometimes, rarely, numerical problems may be asked on this, but it is quite rare. Now the next point is fan in. Now fan in is very simple thing. See this logic circuit over here. Which logic circuit it is? Can you recall? It is NOR logic circuit. Now this NOR logic circuit has 4 inputs, A, B, C, D, and of course the output is single, Y. Now fan in is a number which indicates the number of inputs, that is input terminals, to a logic circuit. Suppose I draw here one NOT gate like this, then this NOT gate has only one input. As we know, NOT gate always has one input. So the fan in of NOT gate will be always 1. Suppose I draw one AND gate over here and it has two inputs, minimum two inputs. So the fan in of this AND gate will be 2. Suppose I add one input more over here, then the fan in will be 3. So like that. So fan in is simply the number of inputs to a logic circuit. So it is very simple to note down this point. Now the last point is fan out. Fan out is defined as the maximum number of gates from the same family which are driven reliably. Now note down this word, driven. See here this diagram. In this diagram, this NOT gate, the output of this NOT gate is driving number of input terminals of number of different logic circuits. So here you can see that this NOT gate is actually driving how many input terminals? Here there are 4 input terminals, here there are 4 input terminals, then the 1 and then the 1. So 4 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1, that is 10 input terminals are being driven by only single NOT gate output. So if the process goes successfully and if this NOT gate is ready to drive all these logic circuits successfully, then we say that the fan out of this NOT gate is 10. So in that way, the fan out is also a number to show that how many inputs that can be driven properly by the output of a logic circuit. Now in the next video lecture we shall see the next topic, that is voltage and current parameters. So watch this video lecture carefully and note down the important points in your notes.